Good evening, people. Right, Paul, rate my beer. Most of you watching will probably know that anyway. And through the background, I'm not in the bar at home. I'm still in Kuala Lumpur. And today being the 21st of February. So yeah, a few days late going home. There are some reasons for that. I'm not going to go into that on this video. I will say that on Rumble, I'm just about, after I've done this, to do a live. Well, I'm going to briefly explain everything on there to save all these messages and everything. So, anyway, nothing, well, actually, not that great, but yeah, anyway. Right, I'm doing Carlsberg here. What the fuck's he doing? You're going to think, yeah, okay. This is, though, right, firstly, this is brewed here in Malaysia, and this is the 5% Carlsberg. Now, I remember coming to Malaysia 20 years ago when you only had Carlsberg, Tiger and Heineken and Anchor now and again. So there you go. This is, as I say, 5% premium, even stronger than our 4.8% export. Again, you're going to be thinking, Carlsberg, what the fuck? Actually, it's not that bad. I've also brought this into the mix. This again is brewed here in Malaysia by Carlsberg, and this comes in at 4.8% ABV. What's the differences? Well, from what I remembered last time, probably not a lot, but Carlsberg Smooth Draft, enjoy the smooth draft experience anywhere. Carlsberg Smooth Draft is brewed longer for a smoother beer with an easy finish, while Carlsberg Green Label, as in this, brewed in classic European style for a perfectly balanced, crisp and malty taste. As we know, I don't know so much about the crisp, but yeah, it is malty, obviously. To obtain its signature smooth and easy finish, Carlsberg Smooth Draft undergoes a longer maturation cycle, double the duration of the normal process it's brewed for, the smooth. Its cold hopping technique enhances the brew's distinctive aromatic flavour. So there you go. There's a review here by someone called Ashley. I don't know whether this fellow was drunk when he wrote it. The difference between original and smooth draft, 5 out of 5 he reviewed it. You see? Can you see that? Yeah. So there you go. The original Carlsberg is more bitter than the smooth. However, the smooth draft is enjoyable with heavy food rather than the original. I like the smooth draft accompanied by heavy food, and the original Carlsberg good for night when you can't sleep. It helps and it's good, like sleeping pills. God days. Anyway, right, let's get these poured. As I say, pour on the green one, coming in at 5% ABV. I say I've been here quite a bit of time now, so half the time. That's not a bad edge, you know, is it? So there you go. There's your Carlsberg. Lively, as you can see. Remember, these are non-nucleated glasses given to me by a close friend in Singapore, funny enough. Hopefully they make it back to the UK when we finally get there. And here's the smooth. Again, nice and lively. These are about £2 something for a 500ml can. Remember, alcohol's not that cheap here. So, let's go on the green one. There you go. As you can see, it's bubbling up like anything. I'm sure you can see that through the camera. It's got a 1 finger thick head. Yeah, you're just getting your malts, but I still think you get a zesty hint with it. Just smell the other one, see if there's any difference. Do you know what? When you're putting them to your nose, they're pretty much for much, in my opinion, in a way. I would fail to notice much of a difference. Again, it's quite lively. Again, thick, compact, just under a finger head that time. But then I did leave that. So, right, let's go in. Let's see what we got here. It's got that macro kind of taste, quite thin bodied. It's malty all the way through, but there is a zesty hint at the end. And I know I'll probably get panned for this, but in all due honesty, this Carlsberg isn't that bad. I didn't mind it years ago. Obviously here now you've got alternatives like Kronenbourg Blanc, which I'm always going to go for every day, but as a go-to lager, if there was nothing else, I prefer this to the Tiger and the Heineken, if I'm honest. There's nothing outstanding from it. I wouldn't say there is, but I tell you what, I've had worse. Like, you think of Anchor here. Anchor's bloody terrible. As I say, it has got that macro kind of taste that you're always going to get, aren't you? So anyway, let's try this one. It lost its head a bit, but it's still bubbling up, so it's lively. And for a non-nucleated glass, that's pretty good going for me. Now that's more crisp. That's more smooth. I do get where they're saying that one is probably more the bitterness there. At first, you're just picking this up. This is back to the green one as a normal lager, but it's right. As soon as you put it up against your smooth one, you're really getting a bitterness off your green one that you're not. This one's, well, it's supposed to be smooth, isn't it? Yeah, much more smooth. The more of it you drink, I think there's probably a reason. I think that was a little bit more expensive than that, if I recall. Maybe a couple of ringgit, maybe 40p more, but you know, it's got its bite. As the other, you know, people forget Carlsberg's one of the original Pilsners from way back in time. Yeah, that rough old 4% load of crap like Carlin in England isn't gonna tick any boxes for anyone really, but it is what it is, isn't it? But this is different. I say I like Pils myself, but I prefer the smoothness of that, where you're not getting that Pilsner bite so much. Obviously, that goes back to the brewing process I was talking about earlier. But in all due honesty, these are them, you can take it or leave it. But are they that bad? To be honest, no, they're not. I actually don't think either of them are that bad. As I say, they're not going to set your world on fire. And anyone that's been to Malaysia or had this 5% one will know exactly what I mean. But you know, look, I'm pouring a bit more in there. It's still lively. For me, yeah, it's no Hasselroder. It's no, there's a lot of things it's not. But it's not bad. And this one, the draft one, the smooth draft, is more smoother. You've still got your little, like, Pilsner bite at the end, but it's not as full on as your green one, if that makes sense. But for me, are these that bad? No, I don't think so. As I say, I'm always going to drink Kronenbourg Blanc here. I'll drink that literally every day while I'm here. But these aren't bad at all. You know, you could do a lot worse, as I say. Only my opinion, but as I say, half the time I pick out something, I see what I can do. As you see, I had a few days off doing the reviews because I had other things on, but this kind of keeps me sane when I'm sat here, so I think, yeah, that's it, I'll do that. I meant to do this on its own last night, but it was heavy rain, and I forgot. I picked up some bloody noodles, as you see, my noodles, that I didn't even eat, don't even ask, and then I forgot to get my beers, and by the time I got back to the hotel, it was raining again, so there you go. One of them things, isn't it? For me, I've got to say, both of them are a yes, all day long. What would I prefer? I'd have to say this is more complex, definitely. As I say, following it through, you are getting more out of it. But that does have more of a bite. I get that. 0.2% more. No, it's not going to make that much difference, is it? But for me, they're both a yes. I'd slightly prefer that. But it's definitely just, let's get a shot at it actually, because I've never done this one. That's it. So yeah, what can I say? Thanks for watching. As I say, if you got this far, thank you very much even more. As I say, there will be an update on the Rumble channel. Again, it's Rate My Beer, but that'll all be done by the time I upload this one tomorrow, if that makes sense. Anyway, happy Wednesday to be. Bonjour.